Everybody, welcome back to another episode of Jacksnax. Today we're going to take a look at Sharp Dressed Man by ZZ Top. So let's break this thing down, okay? This is the first guitar solo on Sharp Dressed Man by ZZ Top off of Eliminator. Billy Gibbons playing in open G and with a slide. So I'm actually in standard tuning with no slide, and the effort required to make it sound like the recording is somewhat substantial, so much so that Billy doesn't even play the song live with the slide. He just kind of riffs out and kind of does standard tuning versions of the solo that he copped on the recording, which is letter perfect. It is absolutely an exercise in economy, taste, and balls. It is awesome. Even though the song is somewhat overplayed, I really do love this solo. It's such a meat and taters moment in rock and roll. So anyway, the whole tune is a big long jam in C with a slight modulation to F for a few bars, and then then back to the track itself. So we're coming out of Every Girl's Crazy About a Sharp Dressed Man, all right, and then there's this one little kick. Okay, so that's a D sharp and then a B flat chord, and then we come into our home chord of C. Okay, and once we're here, that's going to be home for a while, okay? So that's my opening lick, right? So that's the D sharp chord with the 5 in the bass. See how it's very, very connected, just like a monolith of grime. Then we hit this, and we start to bend the 5 and the root a little bit to emulate the sound of a slide, sliding up into the key of C. Either way, index finger or thumb. Then we're going to slide back, like some sort of... like that, okay? But the important part is to end it on Sharp Dressed Man, that little bit. You can shake that a little bit. Again, we're always trying to keep it wiggling a little bit like a slide. Okay, so... So this is the money shot. This is where it's at, in my opinion, right? We've got this pedal tone of the root with the 5 below it. It's kind of acting like a drone underneath us. But if we were playing with a slide in open tuning, it would be easy. We would just slide right up to the 5th fret, and we just start kind of massaging the minor 3rd. And just bring it right up, and then when we go like that and play the A and D string, it's going to sound like this. It's going to sound like the bottom half of our chord, and it provides this really thick and rich sound to bend that minor 3rd. So we can do that by putting these guys here and not moving them. You can't add tension and pull down, okay? That is going to make everything sound awful, okay? So the idea is we're going to be playing this while we play the lick I'm about to show you. Okay, so you got to play it like that because you don't have 6 or 6 fingers. So we're going to pull down on the G string 1 fret bend. Okay, and then while you're there, you'll notice that the B string is right under your index finger. So what we're doing is we're bending up into the 3rd and then hitting the 5th, that G note, without applying any tension to it. So my suggestion is that you just practice adding the 3rd. Nice and slow, and then you get fast. And you just get used to that amount of tension, okay? It's gonna chew a hole in the corner of your index finger if you're not used to doing these kinds of pedal steel bends. This is a very major sound from the 2 up into the 3rd. This is from the minor 3rd. And we're gonna do it with these 2 fingers rather than the pinky, because we need our pinky to do this little lick with the flat 5. Okay, so that's the line. Okay, all with this going on at the same time. So if I clam, sorry about it, I'll try to play it slowly enough for you to see what's happening. We're gonna do a brush down across the A, D, and G strings. Right? Bend it up into tune and grab the B underneath your index finger. It's gonna sound awful until you get it nailed. It took me, I don't know, 4 or 5 days of coming back to this thing. So we're gonna bend through, we're gonna bend up and hold. And then you can come under the B. I do that so that as I'm pushing it, I can kind of help make sure it's tucked underneath my index finger, because it's easy to have it somehow not be quite perfect. Also, if it's bent sharp, that way you can pull it back up with each stroke. Okay, so down 3, up and under to the B string, and up. Okay, so once we do that, then the pinky's gonna come down here and do, okay, and then right back to it. All right, and the trick is to bend far enough into the 3rd, but not so far that you overshoot it and pull both the 3rd and the 5th sharp. Right, so. Sorry, better with the, when you have this underneath it, it sounds really sweet. All right, now I tried usually to keep the A string sustaining, but not strike it when I resolve. So that way it's underneath, but the melody sounds like it's close. Then we modify the lick a little bit and come up and grab that octave. So we're gonna bend up again. Now don't hit it twice, just once on that high G there. Then twice, okay? So we're gonna kind of relax it back and then bring it back up. Then slide the index finger and then come up into this partial C chord where you got the 5th root, 5th root, and a lot of vibrato to emulate the slide. So. All right, and that to me is the best part of the whole solo, or at least the most creative element of it. That's really what I wanted to bring to your attention, is this lick. Now, I'll walk you through the other things, but at a more advanced clip here, okay? We're gonna be at the 11th fret G string, 10th fret B string. We're gonna do both a 1 fret bend. Okay, so we're coming up into the 3rd and the 7th from the flat 5 and the 6th of the C chord. So you've done, we're doing the same thing, but with a bend. Like that. That's it, right? So we're gonna bend up these 2 notes. Okay, I palm mute quite a bit. Then I put my ring finger down in addition to the middle finger and strum through the A, D, and G strings with my pinky again at the 13th fret and my little mini bar here. And I quickly bend up there to the 5th from the flat 5. That's pretty ambitious, but so that's down, 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 okay? And the reason is I don't want to risk upstroking into the A string. Whoops, overshot. We're doing both the bend with the pinky and the bend with the index. Okay, so all in, that is. All right, so that's pretty much it for the phony slide stuff, other than getting some good wiggle in there and 1 or 2 of these little bends type of thing from the rest of the solo. So if we did like that, again we're grabbing the flat 3 and bending up in. Okay. That's what I do, and then I do lots of vibrato the second time, and then 1 fret back, so F sharp, like that. Okay, so again, kind of more articulating it rather than strumming both of them. Okay, this is brighter. Also, you get the low thumb. And that's the last lick before we transition to the F chord. You could have played that. Those are dyads, okay? So it's going to be 10th fret, 8th fret, and 5th fret on the D and A string. So we've just finished playing, right? And now we're going to our F chord. Boo da doo da doo da. Back to C. So over that, Billy pedals back and forth between an F and a D sharp. Okay, so over that, he's going F, D sharp to F. That's kind of one of these dealies. Now he's playing this in an open tuning, and he's playing it down here, I believe. And it it looks like he's hitting the G note, but because the guitar is detuned to play an open G, it actually sounds like this. But this is just a little too much of a stretch, and it's also kind of over bright compared to the rest of the guitar solo up until that point. I just elected to do it here. Okay, again, he does little hook. I do. So that's pedaling back and forth between the G and the C, not the flat 7 as I often played it in my youth. But it's not. Okay, so then don't kill the G string, the G note rather, once you move to the playing on the G string. Once you do, you want to keep that going underneath it again. It thickens it up really nicely. Notice this is one of those opportunities where Billy is not playing aggressively with his right hand. He's actually very he's what I think of as letting the notes really bloom and getting. He's not okay. Again, with that little quarter step in, then to the A note, okay? So then finally we get that flat 7, but it's cool how he brings in that A, right? So only one time, once we do this little bit over the F chord, happens twice. First is... Okay, that, by the way, that's again up to that D sharp. And again, I'm letting that G sustain underneath it. And I love bending it against that. Okay, then I come up, grab that F. Hook on that flat 7 as well, if you're into it. I mean, and then back to the main riff. So that's going to wrap up today's episode of Jacksnax. I really do appreciate you stopping by. If you're a subscriber, thank you very much. And if you're not, hey, please consider hitting the subscribe button or sharing or liking with your friends, all right? Take care, keep picking, and stay healthy. Bye-bye.